I would like to take this opportunity to welcome and introduce our guests on stage. Our principal, Ms. Deirdre DeAngelis. Assistant Principal of Guidance and Pupil Personnel Services, Carolyn Gannon. Assistant Principal of Science and the Institute of Forensic Science and Criminology, Michael Hojnacki. SLC Guidance Counselor, Michael Padmore. Senior Counselor, Donna Lashilligren. Guidance Counselor, Julie Gambali Kubiak. SLC Coordinators, Elizabeth Kanafka and Christina DeFordy. Commencement Speaker and Social Studies Teacher, Joseph Caramanno. SLC School Lead, Patty Valera. And I'm Janine Zagari, Coordinator of Student Activities. At this time, I would like to ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem. I would like to call up commencement speaker and social studies teacher for the Forensics Institute, teacher and recent graduate himself of John Jay College of Criminal Justice, Mr. Joseph Caramanno.
Good morning, Principal DeAngelis, Assistant Principal Hojnacki, Assistant Principal Gannon, Mr. Padmore, guidance staff, Mrs. Agari, my fellow colleagues and staff members, parents, relatives, friends, and to each of you, members of the class of 2021, the inspiring class of 2021. We gather this morning proud to acknowledge the accomplishments of these students both inside and outside of the classroom. We celebrate this occasion excited to mark a rite of passage in the lives of these young adults. We approach this moment eager to witness these graduates walk across this stage and out into a world that is ever so different from what it was 15 months ago. It is with great honor and admiration that I address you, the Institute of Forensic Science and Criminology SLC class of 2021, on this day, your graduation day from Dorp High School. Every case that a forensic scientist investigates is different from all cases that have preceded it and all others that will follow. Your high school experience has been unlike that of any senior class that graduated before you, and unlike any senior class that is to come. In the blink of an eye, 4 years came and went, yet there were many days when 218 could not come soon enough, and some weeks where Fridays seemed like they were just so distant and far off. It's hard to comprehend that within these 4 short years, there was what felt like a never-ending period spent at home waiting to return to school. Today you returned. You're back. Back at this scene of what was your high school experience. Perhaps you can't help but dwell on some of the expectations that were unmet, opportunities that may have been missed within your high school experience. You entertain thoughts that start out with, what if? Continue with, if only, and culminate with, it wasn't supposed to be this way. The remedy to this obstructive way of thinking can be found in recognizing and coming to terms with what exactly happened, not only over the past 15 months, but over the past 4 years. As students in forensics, you are predisposed to arrive on scene to figure out what happened. It is in your skill set to approach the scene in question using the principles of science and conventions of our legal system to evaluate evidence. You have experience in relying on research-based methods to understand patterns of behavior and prevailing theories about crime causation. You settle for nothing less than the pursuit of justice, despite the limits of a system that may impede it from happening. After 4 years in forensics, I would like you to consider one final case. I've gathered evidence in effort to try to answer some of the questions that you may still have based on the events surrounding your high school experience, the one that took place here, at this scene, over the past 4 years. It's my hope that this evidence will be compelling enough for you to have satisfaction, knowing that you, who are members of the class of 2021, knowing who you are, knowing what you did here, and have confidence that your high school experience will remain with you to be recognized in the lives of all of those who you encounter in the years to come. This time, I'd like to present the evidence. September 7, 2017, class of 2021 arrives on scene at 460 New Dorp Lane for orientation, school tour, and the first day of classes. September 20th, period 7 and SLC meet and greet. October 20th of that year, your first pep rally. March 28th, 2018, a trip to Cousins Paintball, 2727 Arthur Kill Road. May 3rd, your first underclassmen award ceremony held in Cafeteria A. That was just the beginning. Within those 4 years, direct, trace, and circumstantial evidence has turned up around New Dorp High School, most abundantly in the second floor of the school's west wing. The hallways were found to have photographic evidence of these students wearing pink to raise awareness for breast cancer, volunteering as mentors to reach out and help younger students, and holding their certificates as proud students of the month. There were colorful bulletin boards containing lists of names for the class of 2021, honoring those with high achievements in academics and attendance. The crime scene lab contained bite mark impressions, model crime scenes in shoeboxes, and perfectly taken fingerprint impressions on neatly labeled cards. Handwriting samples were abundant in Hockman workbooks, test papers, exit tickets, lab reports, notebooks, projects displayed and left behind in the classrooms throughout the West Wing. Latent prints were lifted from the graphing calculators, protractors, computer keyboards, and laptops that you touched. Even more prints were seen by the naked eye on the glossy covers of novels found throughout your classroom bookshelves. There was also a surprising number of arches, loops, and whirls on a bowling ball that was submitted to me as evidence. DNA was found in the blood, sweat, and tears left behind in New Dorp's gymnasiums, around the track, basketball courts, this field, football, soccer, baseball, softball, and lacrosse, on our stage and dance studios. Surveillance footage out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, dated March 25th, 2019, clearly shows a large group of you on a trip at the Eastern State Penitentiary and Central Market. There were permission slips filed for 20 students who visited the campus of John Jay College of Criminal Justice in November 2019, and an even larger number braving the sub-freezing temperatures at Penn State University in February 2020. An anonymous tipster turned over an astounding number of TikTok videos featuring members of the class of 2021 filming themselves next to a window in the corner by the staircase of the West Wing during school hours. Records from Albany point out that not only did members of this class pass required New York State Regents exams, but 45 out of 91 of them earned advanced Regents diplomas, the most ever in this forensics SLC. Financial records in the files of SLC coordinator Mrs. DeForty indicate that pies were sold abundantly during Thanksgiving 2019, raising money for the SLC. Throughout these 4 years, meticulous attendance records were taken and maintained by school officials, placing one or more of you in College Now classes, at 2 Good for Drug assemblies during freshman year, the New Dorp High School Comic-Con. You were present at tutoring sessions, homework help, clubs after school on Tuesdays, participating in SLC Spirit Weeks, blood drives, National Honor Society events. They participated in an audience with a Holocaust survivor who gave testimony during their sophomore year, hosted international students from the Netherlands, and took student exchange trips. They were identified at Sing productions, cookie contests, international festivals, as interns, and at student council meetings. The steady stream of evidence on scene did not date past Thursday, March 12, 2020. The investigation shifted and began to reel an extensive digital footprint. The evidence was contained within Google Classroom, Meets, emails, remind messages, and Pupil path. There were, however, a few particular pieces of evidence that lend itself to this investigation. Screenshots highlighted the commitment of this class to the Show Your Face campaign, where you turned on your cameras during Google Meet sessions. Members of the class of 2021 participated in a highly successful Little Caesars pizza fundraiser. The final transcript shows successful completion of the high school program despite all the obstacles. And just very recently, a yearbook was discovered, showing photographs and well wishes. It is very clear that a lot happened here over the past 4 years. Acceptance letters, scholarships, job offers, academic awards, athletic recognition, service honors, and developing resumes provide a glimpse of what is to come. But finally, I'd like to offer my own eyewitness testimony. I became acquainted with you, class of 2021, in September 2019. I found you to be very likable, personable, respectful, manageable. Each of the 3 classes that I had their own characteristics. Period 3 was overall mostly diligent, conscientious. 6th period class was more on the free-spirited side. And 8th period had such a unique blend of personalities that I really just felt comfortable being myself around all of you. Overall, it was a great working relationship in all the classes. I witnessed progress and growth from the very beginning. But the most significant occurrence was in April 2020. I signed what was entitled the Friday, April 10th assignment. It was one question, no guidelines or word minimums. There was no rubric or expectation. The one question was, how are you? I immediately thought to myself, well, that was stupid because none of them are going to answer this. And if I do get any answers, it'll be a few short one words, like fine, okay, bored. I was wrong. Almost all of you did it. Your papers range from a few words to a few pages. Your responses came to me during a time of unprecedented isolation, darkness, and pure despair in my own life. I was relieved that all of you were expressing so much of what was bothering you, no matter how insignificant it may have seemed or how difficult your individual circumstance may have been. You shared stories about spending more time with your families, connecting in a way that you hadn't since you were younger. Some played cards with siblings, did puzzles, started cooking dinner every night, and were able to provide me with a list of crime shows to check out on Netflix. You had a newfound appreciation for the little things that you missed. You missed seeing people in the halls, checking in with your teachers, riding the bus, and navigating your way through the sometimes turbulent times of a teenager living on Staten Island. You missed being you. More than ever, you wanted to become improved versions of yourselves to make the lives of others better. You expressed the worries too, whether it be to concern for family members who were essential workers, siblings who needed your attention, friends you missed, were worried about, relatives who were at high risk, the relentless boredom, your lack of motivation, just the typical teenage angst happening amid everything else. But despite all of that, despite all that was happening to you, you still put the needs of others before yourself. An astounding number of you, it wasn't just one or two, dozens. Even after detailing your own personal losses, problems, and fears that you mentioned, you said, you know what? I'm really lucky. Because there are so many others out there who have it so much worse. After I read all of these assignments, I couldn't adequately put into words how you turned my negative outlook into something positive. My despair turned to hope, particularly for you, the members of the class of 2021. I knew that you would be okay. I knew that you would prevail. I knew that you were resilient beyond all of our expectations. This is one of many moments that could serve as eyewitness testimony as to what happened here over these past 4 years. I've laid out the evidence for you. And now I ask you, draw upon what you learned in your forensic science classes. You learned that each case is the result of different preceding events leading to its own unique set of circumstances. Every scene presents a unique set of circumstances, motives, offenses, perpetrators, victims, and bystanders. Some cases are easy to solve. Perhaps you find a weapon with clear fingerprints, you track down some reliable witnesses, you identify matching blood samples, or even obtained a signed confession. Other cases, not so much. They could be left open, ending up cold for decades. Crime scene investigators, criminalists, detectives, toxicologists, medical examiners, police officers, and psychologists don't stop searching for answers because something looks or appears to be a greater challenge than what was expected. The most successful physicians, attorneys, artists, accountants, electricians, nurses, firefighters, and mechanics don't turn away from a job because it requires more work than the others. The most influential coaches, teachers, mentors, and role models that you've encountered did not give up on you when you needed them most, when it mattered the most. The most devoted parents, guardians, relatives, friends, and romantic partners don't stop fighting for who they love when faced with some of the harshest realities of life. The most successful students never stop learning, living, and growing when the world around them suddenly changed into something so unrecognizable, something so discouraging, something so unfair. But that's what you've done. That's what you'll continue to do. If you continue to put others first and model that same example of resilience throughout your life, you're going to change the world. You're going to make it what you want it to be, not what others have made it to be. In my opinion, there's no better way than to learn through experience. No class that ever was or is to come will experience high school like the class of 2021. We will always remember your high school experience. We'll remember what happened here. And we'll think of you as a class that was meaningful and one of enormous consequence. We have the evidence to prove it. Case closed. Congratulations to the class of 2021.
Please give a warm welcome to graduating senior Olivia Ferris, who will say a few words about the graduating class of 2021.
Good morning and welcome, teachers, faculty, guests, parents, supporters, and fellow graduates. I am honored to be standing here today to acknowledge the accomplishment that results from over a decade of education and to celebrate our perseverance. With that being said, I would like to start by saying congratulations to each and every one of my fellow graduates. As I was writing this speech, I thought to myself, no matter what you write, you can't say we made it, because that's such a cliche and everyone says that. However, out of the hundreds of thousands of words in the English language, I couldn't seem to find a better three to describe the feelings of joy and pride that fill this football field today. So here I am, proclaiming that we made it. Class of 2021, we are a class like no other. Although our high school experience was cut short due to the circumstances of the past year, I do not intend on dwelling on the negatives. Instead, I would like to invite you all to take a retrospective look at our high school years with me. First, let's look back to freshman year and our paintballing trip. While I do vividly remember it as being a very muddy day and leaving covered in welts, 4 years later, I also remember the laughs that we shared and the bond that we developed. A year later, we took our sophomore class trip to the Eastern State Penitentiary, and between these events, we created a million more memories. Some of my favorites being of seemingly unimportant moments. Meeting my friends in the hallway between classes, attempting to hide in the corner and between the lockers to get in just 3 minutes of conversation before Mr. Padmore or Mr. Hodge would see us and tell us to go to class is one of those memories that will stick with me forever. Basketball games, football games, sing performances, and running into Padmore's office to tell him every bit of drama are all pieces of the high school memories that I will always cherish. Over the last 4 years at Dorp High School, as students in the Academy of Forensic Science and Criminology, we have learned so much. Mrs. Mason taught us about constructing crime scenes and analyzing physical evidence. Mrs. DeForty taught us about the rise and fall of early civilizations. Mr. Barisi taught us about Newton's laws and rolling bowling balls down the West Wing hallway. Ms. Strobel taught us about quadratic equations and logarithms. The circumstances of this year taught us that we are really dependent on Wi-Fi and Quizlet. And while all of this knowledge and the knowledge that we have gained from the rest of our amazing teachers has been invaluable and led us to this point sitting here today, we have learned so much more than just science, math, history, and literature during our 4 short years. We have learned the importance of setting goals and working towards them with unrelenting determination. We have learned how to face obstacles and hardships with resilience. We have learned to embrace opportunities and welcome challenges. Although in a few years we may forget some complicated scientific formulas or mathematical theorems, these life lessons that we learned over our 4 years at Dorp High School will never be forgotten. 4 years ago, we walked through the terrace doors and shuffled up the stairs to homeroom, probably getting lost along the way as tiny, scared freshmen, and soon we will be alumni. As I look around at the faces of my fellow graduates, my perspective has changed. I no longer see the boy from my English class that would always volunteer to read aloud, or my friend from math that I would talk to instead of paying attention. I see future doctors, lawyers, accountants, forensic scientists, and engineers. As we sit here reminiscing on our high school experience, it is time we also look forward to our futures. To many of us, the future may seem daunting as we are left to traverse the unknown with a newfound sense of independence. However, Dorp has provided us with a strong academic foundation and has given us the necessary help and guidance to begin to acquire the skills we need to accomplish all of our ambitious goals. As we embark on the next big journey of life, whether that's college, trade school, the workforce, or whatever else you have planned for your future journey, these are things that we will take with us. Graduating today does not signify the end. It is simply one chapter of our lifelong journey. As we move our tassels from right to left and throw our caps into the air, remember and reflect upon the friendships you have made, lifelong memories you will take away, the knowledge you have acquired, and the sense of family that has helped and guided you to this point. Congratulations, class of 2021. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to acknowledge our Honor Key and Permanent Honor Roll students. Their names will be listed on our program. Students receiving the Honor Key have maintained a 90 or better average throughout 4 terms of high school. Students receiving 2 Honor Keys have maintained a 90 or better average for all 8 terms of high school. Candidates listed for the Permanent Honor Roll have maintained a 90 average or better throughout their 4 years of high school. I would like to call to the podium our Assistant Principal, Michael Hojnacki, to announce specialty awards.
If your name is called, please stand. Your awards will be given in your diploma envelope. It is with great pleasure to announce students who have received highest honors in each department. Excellence in Foreign Language, Joseph Alonzo. Please stand for recognition. Please be seated. This award is given to a student nominated by staff as being the senior who best exemplifies the spirit of our smaller learning community. The award goes to Olivia Ferris. Please stand for recognition. Please be seated. We have a very special group of seniors who have maintained perfect attendance throughout their 4 years at New Dorp High School. The Perfect Attendance Award goes to Paul Mizzou and John Rutherford. Please stand for recognition. Congratulations, you may be seated.
It is with great pleasure to call to the podium our principal, Miss Deirdre DeAngelis, to say a few words.
I think as principal, I should be able to determine who speaks first and who doesn't, because it's very hard to follow those two speeches. Good morning to the members and families and staff members of our Institute of Forensic Science and Criminology. And congratulations to the members of the class of 2021. What a beautiful day we have here. A day when we get to celebrate each and every one of you and all you have accomplished. I would like to welcome our New Dorp families, staff, friends, and special guests to the New Dorp High School's 100th commencement exercise. We are not 100 years old, we're getting there, but back in the day, they numbered them twice a year. So we can't fix that, but we're not yet 100. We'd like to maintain a little less. As I began thinking about the words that I would share with the class of 2021, I thought to myself, is it a coincidence that this graduating class, a class that will go down in history for attending and completing high school during a global pandemic, would also be the centennial graduating class and the first class to graduate on this newly renovated, beautiful field? Well, I don't believe in coincidences, and I believe that certain things are meant to be. And this class, who showed amazing strength, fortitude, perseverance, and grit during the last 471 days, is meant to be here, on this field, on this beautiful day, during this 100th commencement exercise at New Dorp. What a proud moment and what an achievement. I am so happy that our New Dorp family is here today, together, to witness it. Class of 2021, I applaud each and every one of you. So it's been a very emotional couple of weeks. There have been so many things happening at once as we plan activities for the end of the school year that seem far from usual and so much more challenging than ever before. But there was a light at the end of this long tunnel, and it came in the form of spending the last few days with staff and students as they gathered in the building for graduation rehearsal. It felt kind of normal again for the first time in a long time. And now today, looking out at all of you just fills my heart. To be able to provide you the opportunity to walk across the stage to receive your diploma, something we were unsure of just a few months ago, means the world to me. Today there's a sense of accomplishment in the air, a belief that comes from standing strong and standing together. That is what helped get us here today. Let's look forward from here instead of spending time wondering why things happened. Let's look at today as the beginning, as a point of which we look for what is to come, as a day we remain hopeful for better tomorrows. For me, today feels like we are closer to what we have known as normal. But today is also a day when we're ready to move forward. Today is a day we can get excited about the road that lies ahead and what we will encounter. I truly believe that we are ready and well equipped to face any challenge that comes our way. And I'm not just talking about the class of 2021. What we have endured in the last year and a half has made us all stronger. Seniors, as you move out into the world, remember that every experience is a moment of learning. Take those lessons and apply them to everything you do. Specifically, please keep the following words of advice with you, words that I shared with my own son, who is also a member of the class of 2021. Be safe, and please, please, please make good decisions. Each decision you make is important. Please be kind to others, and please be true to yourself. Please accept others for whom they are. Like you, they're trying to find their place in this world. Please know that nothing comes easy. So find your passion, work hard, and stay focused on your goals, and happiness and success will follow. The world is out there for your taking. So dream big and believe you can do anything, and you will. I'm expecting huge things from each of you. And when it happens, please come back and tell us all about it. So parents and guardians, I guess this is a good time to apologize for interrupting your dinner on a regular basis with my phone calls. But I did want to stay connected, and I did want our community to come together. But seriously, thank you for working closely with us to prepare your children for the future, and for trusting us to provide them with the best educational experience. We are a team, school and family, and we are fortunate that we have great relationships with our families and an amazing staff that really cares about your children. They worked extremely hard to support them through their high school journey, and I am so grateful to have them by my side through the good and bad times. As they say, it takes a village, and there's no other village like the Dorp family village. So let's move on to a less serious part of my message. Let's have some fun. In keeping with a tradition that I began in 1999 at my very first Dorp graduation 23 years ago, I have chosen a book that I believe carries an important message to this year's senior class. Year after year, students have helped me deliver the message found in the book that I select specifically for each class. And this year is no exception. Even though we are having 8 ceremonies, we will carry on this tradition. This year's book is entitled What the Road Said by Cleo Wade. The author shares the following. I wrote this book in hopes that the road can be a friend through every stage of your journey. I hope you will allow it to live with you in a world as a hug on your good days, and also on the days where you may feel alone or scared or confused by big questions. I wrote these words to encourage you, love you, and help you on your path to becoming who you are. You are important, you are here for a purpose, and you deserve to be a leader. Class of 2021, I really think this book is for you. So please sit back and enjoy the message that Frankie and Giselle and I will share with you. What the Road Said by Cleo Wade. Have you ever wanted to go in a different direction? Have you ever wondered if there was something more, something out there, something just different? I did too. Then one day I was walking my usual way home when, out of nowhere, for no reason at all, almost as if it were magic, a road appeared. I could not believe my eyes, so I walked over to it and
I said to the road, where do you lead? The road said, be a leader and find out.
How do I start, I asked. The road smiled and said, you have already started. Well, what happens when I get there? We have just begun, said the road. So do not skip straight to the ending. Enjoy the beginning and the middle too.
Which way do I go? That is your choice to make, said the road. But what if I go the wrong way? The road curved a little, almost as if it was giving me a hug, and said, do not worry. Sometimes we go the wrong way on our way to the right way.
What if I get scared? That is okay. You are brave, said the road. But what does it mean to be brave? I asked. The road guided me through a very gloomy forest. Even though I was frightened, I trusted the road. And as I took one step, and then another step, after that, the road gently whispered, being brave is when you are afraid of doing something, but you do it anyway. Do not let what scares you keep you from continuing on your path.
Will I always move forward? Not always, said the road. Why not? Because sometimes you will stumble backwards and sometimes you will stand still. What if I fall? Everyone falls at some point, said the road, but I will always be there when you land.
What if I get lost? There may be some days that you feel long and dark, said the road, but I promise that no matter what, I will give you the evening stars and the morning sun to light your way. What if I grow weary or get hurt? I will give you trees of all shapes and sizes to shelter you when you need to rest and heal, said the road.
What if I get lonely? You are never alone, said the road.
What if I change? Come with me, said the road. And as I moved forward, the road introduced me to a caterpillar and a family of seeds.
We did not stay long. The road began taking me on a journey through seasons. I watched summer turn to fall and fall turn to winter, and as spring was upon us, I realized we had gone in one big, beautiful circle. I looked down and found I was standing in front of the caterpillar and the seeds once more. Only the caterpillar was no longer a caterpillar, and the seeds had turned to flowers of every color, swaying in the sun. The road raised me up and said, all things grow and change. That is the magic of being alive. You too will find your wings. You too will bloom. No living thing is meant to stay the same.
What if I need help on my journey? Ask your fellow travelers along the way. What if they are mean to me? Lead them to kindness, said the road. How? By being kind.
What if they want to fight? Lead them to peace, said the road. But how do I lead them to peace? By listening to their stories, telling them yours, and reminding them that you are all in this journey together. What if the world around us is filled with hate? Lead it to love. How? By sharing the power of your love with it, said the road.
What if something unexpected happens? Keep going. What if there are mountains that feel too tall to climb? What if there are rivers that feel too wide to cross? What if I get my heart broken? What if I feel stuck? What if giving up is easier? Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, said the road.
What if I can't do it? You can, said the road. How do you know? Because you have come this far, said the road.
I said to the road, where do you lead?
The road said, be a leader and find out.
Class of 2021, please meet the road head on. Be a leader and carve out a road that will lead you to success. Congratulations, best wishes, and be safe on your journey. From my heart, I wish you a lifetime of health, happiness, love, and much success. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Ms. DeAngelis, it is with great pleasure that I now present to you the graduating class of 2021. Members of the Guidance Department have certified that the young women and men before you have met all of the coursework and examination requirements for a high school diploma set forth by the New York State Board of Regents and the New York City Department of Education.
will the members of the Institute of Forensics and Criminology, under the direction of Assistant Principal Michael Hojnacki and Guidance Counselor Michael Padmore, please rise and accept your diplomas.
Here we go, Olivia Ferris. All right, give me your card when you come up, please. Francis Fody. Giselle Rao. Mackenzie Kaiser. Taylor Alexander. Jacqueline Virgilio. Jillian Cannon. Trinity Lugo. Sabrina Agno. Michelle Sacramento. Mia Ryan. Okay. Jamie Puglisi. Diana Girardi. Victoria Marana. Doriana Marcoux. Amaryllis Lucas. Jenna Hayes. Mena Hagazi. Julia Zolinski. Catherine Sokolov. Hamad Chaudhry. Mohammed Irfani. Anthony Pellegrini. Matthew Ruggiero. Nicholas Catapano. Natalie Gallardo. Jeanette Estudio Hernandez. Anna Doe. Kylie Forster. Jasmine Quintero. Yanni Grohowski. Haley Opolsky. Michael Collado. Nicholas Colantuno. Jake DeLuca.
We out, Jake.
Eddie Astor. Peter Reynolds. Anthony Battaglia. Joseph Esposito. Elia Markashi. Angelica Torres. Ariel Reyes. Madeline Fago. Gianna Quintero. Joseph Castro. Nicholas Garofalo. Fury DiStefano. Christian Ellis. Joseph Alonso. Jonathan Miscari. James Kubiak. Nicholas Bennett. Samir Thurisky. Ryan Morrow. Christopher Frangipani. Michael Pacello. Joseph Verwato. Jake Trolin. Joshua Kirk. Nadira Shahada. Celeste Vega. Abdullah Talba. Ashley DiFrancesco. Matea Ryan. Ali El Nahani. Justin Chung. Thomas Morse. Kaina Shafiq. Gildana Goga. Amy Jalka Perez. Jaritzi Espinosa Ramirez. Victoria Wallace. Dylan Calvaca. John Rutherford. Paul Mazu. Antonio Bonet. Evan Calderon. John Navaria. Kevin Luke. Alistair Salas Moran. Abel Aturbay Torres. And finally, Diana Andrade Castillo. Congratulations.
I would like to call back up to the podium our principal, Ms. Deirdre DeAngelis, to recite the graduate's oath.
All right, we're at the finish line, everyone. So please stand. And please repeat after me. With gratitude to my school. With pride in my city. And with devotion to my country, I pledge to cherish the traditions of New Dorp High School, to strive to fulfill my individual potential, and to improve my community, my city, and my country. With the powers vested in me by the New York State Board of Regents and the City of New York, I now declare you graduates of New Dorp High School. You may move your tassels from right to left. Right to left. I know you did a lot of work on your hats.